On today's show, we're talking about a list that Fox Sports put together with free agent predictions for the Cleveland Browns. We're going to react to them, dive into the possibilities, give you my thoughts, ask for your thoughts, as they always do. Can Cleveland make some good moves in free agency? That is what today's show will be about. And I also don't want you guys to miss out on this awesome deal we've got going on at Chat Sports. We got more Browns Report merch. St. Patty's Day is coming up. It is the perfect shirt for Browns fans to rep, to party, to get in the spirit, be festive, wear some green on St. Patty's Day, okay? It's a limited edition, cool-looking shirt, Cleveland drinking team. So go to chatsports.com/Browns Green. It is an easy link to remember. It's only $29.99 to get this awesome, custom, limited edition Cleveland drinking team shirt. I think that looks pretty cool, and it will help you get into the spirit and rock it, party hard on St. Patty's Day, just like we do here on the show. So go to chatsports.com/Browns Green. The first prediction we're going to talk about from Fox Sports, these are both Browns free agents that they could sign and free agents that they have to decide if they want to re-sign. Cam Robinson is the first one on the list that comes up, and Fox Sports says that Cam Robinson signs with the Bears. He is not our problem anymore. Get him out of here. Would be shocking to me if the Browns did re-sign Cam Robinson. For those who don't know, he wears number 68. So if you ever see those clips on Twitter where people are like, OMG, get 68 off of the team, that is Cam Robinson. He played left tackle for the Browns this past season. Past 4 years, his PFF grades up and down. How did he regress so much in multiple years? Because last season, oh my goodness, 48.5 overall PFF grade. Yikes. At least he was somewhat valuable on the Texans the year before, but still not great. You could see it dwindling down. The Texans opted to go with a rookie offensive lineman instead of starting Cam Robinson. They traded him to Cleveland, and he was absolutely awful since. One example I like to point out, the Bills game. Dude, we should have won this game. Lost 23-20, and on one of the most important plays of the game, Robinson over on that left tackle spot, just gets absolutely bulldozed, shoved to the ground in 1.5 seconds, and immediately Shedeur is sacked. It was awful to endure and watch this season. So, if anybody thinks that we should re-sign Cam Robinson, well, tell me about it. Do you think so? Type Y for yes, type N for no in the chat. I'm typing my N for no. Like, seriously, I don't understand how you could justify re-signing Cam Robinson right now. Maybe it's a Browns problem because, like I said, he was better before he got here, but he was so bad this year. He's 30 years old. Don't need him. Next offensive lineman that is a free agent for Cleveland is Wyatt Teller. So, what Fox Sports thinks is going to happen with the former All-Pro and Pro Bowl guard Wyatt Teller. Fox Sports actually says that Teller is going to re-sign with the Cleveland Browns, bringing back Wyatt Teller. I do think that if Stefanski was still here, there'd be no chance this is a possibility. So there's probably no chance that he goes to Atlanta. And that means, does he land with Cleveland again? Here's what Fox Sports had to say about Wyatt Teller. 31, he's been to 3 Pro Bowls and just finished a 4-year deal paying him $14 million a year. Now, he was rated as the top guard in football when he got that deal, but he's been closer to average as of late. PFF had him 40th out of 80 guards in 2025. Definitely some regression with Wyatt Teller this last year. Not the 3-time Pro Bowl form that this Fox Sports article had mentioned when he got the deal. And then, weirdly, later this season, Stefanski started rotating him with Devin Jenkins. Like, it was like a literal soft benching for Wyatt Teller. Then he got hurt, and his wife was actually really mad at Stefanski and the whole situation, and so it got weird. His PFF grade overall about 62.2. So I think he's still a serviceable guard in this league. You know, he is getting older, though, and did get a minor injury this season and also somewhat of a benching. And weirdly, his market value, according to Spotrac, is still pricey. They're thinking $10 million a year for Wyatt Teller. Now, I don't see it being that much. Maybe a team like the Seahawks, who has everything figured out already and just wants a veteran guard, will actually pay Teller. But $10 million a year seems pricey to me. You know, I think it's going to be cheaper than that, more like 1-2 year deal. Maybe he gets 3 years. Again, he's 31 years old. So I don't know that Cleveland would actually be so adamant about re-signing Teller. I think he's going to hit the open market, and if a team is going to pay him $10 million, Cleveland's not going to fight them on it. But for a cheap deal, a year or two to come back to Cleveland, that's fine with me for Wyatt Teller. Devin Bush. Now, this is one we really got to talk about because Bush is one of the top free agents on the market. Fox Sports actually had him top 8 of all free agents on the list. And we talked about dealing with the Cowboys very recently on this show. Well, the prediction is that Devin Bush signs with the Cowboys. There were rumors that Dallas wanted to trade for him by the trade deadline because he was an upcoming free agent. And he really just had a resurgence last season with the Cleveland Browns. I do give Jim Schwartz credit for putting him in this system, and Jason Tarver, our linebackers coach. Bush, 125 tackles, 7 for loss, 3 interceptions, multiple pick sixes, 8 passes broken up. He was versatile, great in coverage, and a good tackling linebacker. By the way, 2 forced fumbles, and like I said, 2 pick sixes. That's why he's got 2 touchdowns on his 2025 stats that you're looking at right here. And the quote we've got about Devin Bush is that he was once the 10th overall draft pick with the Steelers. His play there dropped off after a promising rookie year. Made $3.2 million with the Browns on that 1-year deal. Should be a coveted free agent. PFF is high on him. Ranks him as the number 8 overall free agent, but is projecting $12 million a year. So, if you get into a bidding war with Devin Bush, I don't think Cleveland wins that. They could tag Bush, but the franchise tag for linebackers this year, ridiculous. It's like $27 million for Bush to get back on a year deal. I don't think Cleveland's going to tag him. And so then you have to think about them negotiating on the open market. Hey, man, you were great for us last year. You want to run it back? Cheaper deal, closer to $10, $12 million a year. But if the Cowboys are big spenders, and they certainly have been in past years, I could see the Bush ending up in Dallas. It's also going to depend on if JOK comes back. If he would come back healthy, that I know the injury was tough to endure for JOK, but oh my goodness, when he was playing, I was such a big fan of his game, just like I am with Schlesinger. That pairing would be so amazing in Cleveland. We've been talking about it for a while now. And so if they think they get JOK back, they're like, okay, we're good. We don't need to pay Devin Bush $12 million a year. If that doesn't look likely, well, then this might be the one big use of Cleveland's cap space is we got to bring back Devin Bush. Otherwise, it is goodbye. I think ideally for Cleveland, they get JOK back healthy and they won't re-sign Devin Bush, use their cap space on linemen and other positions of need. You be the GM, though. You think Devin Bush is worth re-signing? Type S for sign, type D for don't. Get a letter in the comments section. What should we do after Bush's career has been revived here in Cleveland? Ironically, the former Pittsburgh Steeler. Next, talking lineman again, Joel Bitonio. Lot of rumors about Bitonio's future in the NFL. Is he going to hang it up, call it quits? Is he going to run this thing back? We know he has been in Cleveland forever, wants to stay in Cleveland and retire a Cleveland Brown, and that's why the prediction is that Bitonio does retire and call it quits. About 34 years old. I can't say I'm shocked about this one. Obviously it would be sad. Bitonio certainly regressed a little bit too when you talk about talent-wise, but he could still be a serviceable guard. Next year, though, I think he might be aging out. So I'll definitely make a full video tribute to Bitonio if he does officially announce retirement. So stay tuned for that. But I would agree with this prediction. I think Cleveland is heading in this direction, and Bitonio is making it sound like he's gonna retire. So finally, Isaiah Likely. Here is a name to watch, Browns fans. Comes up on this list as one of the top free agents in the class, in this 2026 class, I should say. And Fox Sports said this about Isaiah Likely. 25 years old, had 11 touchdowns between 23 and 24, dropped off this past season, getting 27 catches for 307 yards and a single touchdown. Baltimore opted to extend Mark Andrews, so their investment in the position was there, but likely has good opportunities if he wants to sign elsewhere. He could follow John Harbaugh to the Giants or former Ravens offensive coordinator Todd Monken to the Browns, and he might want a one-year deal, $8 million or so, for the chance to reset himself as the top of market free agent in 2027. And then they predict, boom, that the Browns will sign likely in free agency. And I think it's great value, high upside, not too expensive right now, but had this happened a year ago, he would have absolutely been one of the top tight ends on the market. So, with the upside that you're getting, the investment not too much, and you need to replace David Njoku, I love that they're thinking Isaiah Likely is going to head to the Cleveland Browns. At only 25 years old, he's an athletic tight end, versatile, goes up, wins at the point of attack, wins 50-50 balls. Seriously, super athletic tight end, and he's much younger now than David Njoku. Call him a chess piece tight end as well because he's a good blocker. He really can do it all, and we know that the Browns and Todd Monken, they love going 12 personnel. They love 2 tight end sets, running the football, establish your identity that way. You got Fannin and Likely that you got to worry about catching passes now too. You don't know if they're both blockers. You don't know if they're both leaking out as receivers. That is confusion for a defense. And when you have big, solid targets like those two who are athletic, who are reception machines, also good at yards after the catch, that is phenomenal for a young quarterback. You've got options galore here to just move the ball. That's what we lacked last year. Yards, moving the chains. Give me Likely to help us do that with Fannin. Oh, that's great. It's the perfect David Njoku replacement. Really is, because he's also athletic and younger, can block. It would be perfect to do what Cleveland likes to do and run their 12 personnel 2 tight end sets, start to establish play action and run games, bootlegs, all of it. Weigh in for me, though. Should the Browns bring in Isaiah Likely? Give me a yes or no down below. Are you down with this concept? I think it's a good way for Cleveland to use only about $9 million in cap space to bring in Isaiah Likely. It's not super cheap, but for a talented tight end that he is, I think is a fine way to bring in a position of need. And I assure you, we are going to load up in the draft on offensive linemen and another pass catcher. Draft has got some deep wide receiver options. So let me know what you would do with Isaiah Likely. Finally, Fox Sports predicts David Njoku to the Falcons. I wanted to add this one in too. We already know Njoku's not coming back to Cleveland, but they think he's going to follow Kevin Stefanski to Atlanta and reunite over there. That would be interesting. We'll see if they bring in Njoku, and Kyle Pitts is a free agent too, so it also depends on if they tag him or let him walk. And then Linderbaum, we talked about the center, Tyler Linderbaum, the best one on the market right now. They think he goes to the Giants and chooses to follow Harbaugh instead of following Monken, but both names were mentioned here for Tyler Linderbaum. Talk about expensive. He probably will get paid this offseason, but that is because he's the top offensive line option. So I'd love to get Linderbaum over here. Monken, work some magic, see what you can do. We may need a center desperately because Posick, not the same, free agent as well, just tore his Achilles. If we can get Linderbaum to protect Shador and whoever plays quarterback up front, I'm in on that. That is your list of free agent predictions. Make sure you give me a follow on all social media platforms because I tweet a bunch of Browns news and rumors. So go follow me at JoeyO70. And then Instagram, Browns Report IG, TikTok, Joey O. Brown. You can get plenty of fun, short-form Browns content on all 3 of these. So hit me up. Let's talk. Go Brownies, and I'll see you next time.